Councilmember, you good whenever you're ready.
Ten seconds. Good afternoon. My name is Trayon White Sr., and I'm the Ward 8 council member. I'm also the chair for the Committee on Recreation, Libraries, and Youth Affairs. Today is Thursday, April 11, 2024. We are meeting remotely using the Zoom platform. The time is now 3:04 p.m., and I'm calling to order this budget oversight hearing on the Office of Television, Film, Music, and Entertainment. The mission of the Office of Cable Television, Film, Music, and Entertainment is to produce and broadcast programming for the District of Columbia's public education and government access cable channels and digital radio stations. Also, to regulate the District of Columbia's cable television service providers, provide customer service for cable subscribers, and support a sustainable creative economy and a labor market for the District of Columbia. The Office of Cable Television award-winning content provides resources and information on government activities, education, current events, history, music, arts, and entertainment. The Office of Cable Television operates and manages the District of Columbia's television access channels, such as the District Council Channel, District of Columbia Network, DCN, District Knowledge Network, DKN, and the District of Columbia Entertainment Network, a 24-hour on-demand streaming network and the district's first government radio station, DC Radio 96.3 HD4 digital radio station in partnership with our very own Howard University, WHUR. I like saying that, WHUR. This year, FY25 budget offered me is a $14.9 million, has a $14.9 million budget, which is a 2.3% decrease from FY24, including a 6.9 million towards TV programming to provide quality broadcasts to our residents and continue funding for the film rebate program, which gives incentives to production companies to film here in Washington, D.C. We look forward to Director Foster's testimony and also the testimony of our public witnesses. As I call the panel of witnesses, if you are speaking on behalf of yourself, you will get 3 minutes. You speak on, if you are a advisory neighborhood commissioner or organization, you will get 5 minutes to speak, and then we will go with questions if I have them or if any other members have them. With that being said, we're going to call our first panel, Sonny Sumter, DC Jazz Festival, Sabrina Peterson, Capital Percussions and Backline Rentals, Lisa Dean, Capital Service Management.
Good day, everyone. This is Sunny. Did you tell me to go now?
Go right ahead.
Good day, Chairman White and members of the DC Council. On behalf of the DC Jazz Festival, thank you for this opportunity to speak in support of the Office of Cable Television, Film, Music, and Entertainment. My name is Sonny Sumter, and I proudly serve as the President and CEO of the DC Jazz Festival. Founded in 2004, we are a nonprofit dedicated to providing engaging programs that introduce people from all walks of life to jazz. Our great city, DC, is considered one of the major hubs for jazz music. Our annual DC Jazz Fest is the largest jazz festival in the Mid-Atlantic region, a premier destination on DC's cultural calendar, and one of the most forward-thinking jazz festivals in the world. An invaluable asset to the district, DC Jazz Fest offers live, entertaining experiences with broad appeal, stimulates local businesses, attracts tourists, and enhances DC's image as a world-renowned cultural destination. In addition, our organization nourishes the DC community with free year-round education programs, mostly in under-resourced communities, enhancing the quality of life for DC school students. The Office of Cable Television and Entertainment has supported the DC Jazz Fest since 2017. through its DC rebate program. Prior to the pandemic, the 2019 DC Jazz Fest attracted a record-breaking 148,000 attendees, a 310% increase over 2018, in 25 neighborhoods all across the district. And today I can say we are poised to return to those record-breaking numbers this year. In 2024, DC Jazz Festival will partner with the Downtown Bid to present DC Jazz Fest opening day downtown, with events in 4 different locations, including Franklin Square Park, Eaton, DC, the Carlisle Room, and the Embassy of Australia. In addition, we will work closely with the District Wharf, Arena Stage, Union Stage, and the Anthem to present DC Jazz Festival at the Wharf, and with UDC, the Anacostia Cultural District, Westminster Church, Krieger Museum, Parks at Walter Reed, Tacoma Station, and others to present the festival in all 8 wards. It promises to be a jazz takeover of the district. Continued funding from the Office of Cable, Television, Film, Music, and Entertainment has been critical to our success. Simply put, the DC Jazz Festival would not be able to contract DC vendors without the agency's support. The DC Jazz Festival budget to produce this world-class festival citywide in 2024 is $1.3 million. In 23, according to a DC audit conducted by an independent auditor, our DC spend was $512,396. $75,000 rebate helped us to continue to hire DC producers such as Shine On Me Productions, DP Strategies, and Reed Rodell. We were also able to provide training opportunities to 12 DC residents and job opportunities to 17 DC residents. Funding from the agency allowed DC Jazz Festival to hire DC vendors who often charge more than vendors in other states because of the costs to do business in DC. In addition, funding from the agency has allowed us to continue to film DC, a Jazz City documentary, and to stream that on fans.com to over 200,000 views. We are grateful to the rebate program that allows us to continue to contract DC vendors and again film this great documentary on this amazing city that I call home, DC. And that is to shine a spotlight on DC as a major jazz hub with global appeal. And so thank you to the DC Office of Cable, Television, Film, and Music and Entertainment for your continued support. I'll be happy to answer any additional questions that you might have. And again, thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Sabrina Peterson.
Hello. I would like to apologize for any music that you hear in the background. There is a group at our shop currently that is rehearsing, which is just a testament to all of the support that OCTFME provides for us as well. So hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to provide testimony on behalf of our company, Capital Percussion and Backline Rentals. My name is Sabrina Peterson, and I'm the Business and Operations Manager. Our job is to ensure that events and performances for which we are hired have all the instruments they need, including guitars, amps, keyboards, drum sets, world percussion, concert percussion, organs, sound equipment, you name it. This involves working closely with DC's Office of Cable, Television, Film, Music, and Entertainment. In providing this service, I, along with the rest of my team, have seen firsthand the positive impact that this organization has on the DC community. I've worked with OCTFME on various projects, from planning periods all the way through the culmination of the event. At every stage, the agents involved are focused on providing an experience for the DC community that also demonstrates to the nation, and even in some cases the world, what an incredible art scene DC has. Their commitment to highlighting local artists and musicians, as well as national acts like EU Sugar Bear that have their roots in DC, is evident. In my personal opinion, there isn't anywhere else in the country that has a music scene like DC does. We live and breathe go-go music here, and OCTFME understands and embraces that, showcasing what makes us unique. With uniqueness can come difficulty booking in other areas outside of DC, but through the reach that OCTFME has, the rest of the country can see just how incredible our musicians are. While we are a music company, We have also dealt with the film side of the organization when they need instruments for something they're filming. Even though we are but a small part of these events, we are still made to feel like we are a valuable piece of the puzzle. It's also amazing to see how OCTFME not only helps facilitate big, well-known projects such as Amazon's Jack Ryan, or of course, the DC Jazz Festival, but also supports local filmmakers. No matter the scope of the project, each one of them gets the same amount of care and attention. That's all one can ask for, especially in a business where so many people will treat you as less than because you're not a household name, or think that you should simply be grateful for the platform you're given. OCTFME never makes you feel like you owe them anything. At the end of the day, there aren't many organizations that you can honestly say that about. The lines of communication are always open. Someone has always taken my call, and Director Foster is dedicated to staying in touch personally. It makes vendors like us feel like we matter, are heard, and want to do the best job we possibly can to carry on the mission that OCTFME has. We consider it a great privilege to be a part, no matter how small, of all the great things that OCTFME is doing and accomplishing. All of us here at Capitol Percussion hope that we can continue to support this organization and all of the amazing things it does for DC in the years to come. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have about this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lisa Dean.
Thank you for the opportunity to provide this testimony. I'm Lisa Dean, and in my position with Capital Services Management, Award 8 Certified Business Enterprise, we're a vendor of the Office of Cable Television, Film, Music, and Entertainment. As a proud native Washingtonian and supporter of the CBE program, an advocate for sustainable economic development, I applaud OCTFME, Mayor Bowser, and the DC Council in their support and dedication in utilizing CBE firms and supporting the local creative economy as well. Having the opportunity to work with and see firsthand an agency that is impacting various sectors in the city is encouraging. The Office of Cable TV is committed to meeting and exceeding their goals of doing business with local CBE firms, and in turn has contributed to the economic development of a diverse segment of businesses within the city. The main segment community that they contribute to, as we all know, is the creative community that's been a driving force in our society and is providing a multitude of opportunities for our residents, especially our youth. And I feel that's very important to comment on positive impact that they're having and will continue to have on this community and the district. OCTFME, and that keeps getting me, is designed to assist and inspire our local creatives around the country and around the world. Their unique mission has allowed DC to continue to rise as a major competitor in the global entertainment industry and has set the framework for DC as a regional, national, and global creative hub. Through the Film Rebate Fund, filmmakers around the country is encouraged to use our historic city as the backdrop or setting for their stories. And I have to say this once again, as a proud native Washingtonian, I have loved seeing our city grace the screens on shows such as House of Cards and Jack Ryan. The production of these shows in the district not only supports the creative community, it also provides job opportunities to local residents, contributes to our city's tax base, and brings in revenue for a number of our small CBE firms. Office of Cable TV provides a wide variety of services that directly support our local creatives, many who are CBE firms. Services such as the 202 Creatives Division, highlighting the location of the month, the film production, television production, etc., all provide direct resources for the district CBE firms and creative residents to benefit. Director Foster and the entire OCTFME staff are committed to the values and missions of the statement and to promoting CBEs and the creative community's economic development in DC. Dedication to the arts and economic development exists throughout the staff. Examples including hosting events such as this weekend's Emancipation Day activities that we're happy to help assist with. hosting the annual 202 Creatives Month. The staff executes these events on a regular basis, and in addition, never misses a beat when it comes to supporting our city in their day-to-day functions. I thank the Mayor Bowser, the DC Council, the Committee on Recreation, Libraries, Youth Activities, Chairman White, Director Foster, and the entire staff for their continued commitment to DC and for their dedication to continuing to support CBEs and the arts and cultural sectors of our community. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to start with you, Ms. Sumter.
Yes, Chairman White.
Thank you. How long, first of all, you all do an amazing job with the DC Jazz Festival. It's been an attraction over the years that get people from all ethnicities, all ages, all walks of life from the city, and also draws people to the city to have that amazing experience. And just wanted to know from you, how long has your partnership been with OCTFME?
So we got our first rebate grant from them in 2017.
Yeah.
And I think just to elaborate on that, the importance of that was that it really helped us. That year was a tough year for us financially. And we always like to hire our own. And we didn't even hear about that opportunity until when we were close to figuring out the vendors that we were going to use. And when we got that grant, we were able to keep, the DC vendors in our family. So that was a good start to now, 7-year relationship.
Thank you for that. Great. I do know that you said you all do some education components in underserved communities. What type of education and what does that look like?
You asked me the right question because I went to Duke Ellington School of the Arts, grew up on Morris Road. So we know that our kids need the arts in the regular school day. And so we started in 2008 with the Roberta Flack Music Education Program because Roberta Flack was a DC public school teacher and was on our board at the time. Fast forward to 2024, we serve DC public schools and DC charter school, and our mission is to just stay in DC proper. Not only do we provide DC Jazz Bops, which is we teach math and literacy skills using jazz-inspired storybooks like Ella Fitzgerald, Louis Armstrong, Duke Ellington, but we also teach our middle school and our high school students about Duke Ellington, about the importance of just the history of jazz music in our great city. And then we do after-school programs at Sitar Art Center. We've been doing that since 2009. And we are starting a summer program with the KIPP DC Academy program to again talk, we're reaching middle school and high school students all summer long.
Is this through summer job program?
I wish, but no, it's through a grant that we are getting through 2 funders to do that program. And we also give away 800 free tickets to students, teachers, and their families to Jazz Fest.
Okay. Wow. That's amazing. I know you said one of this projection costs about $1.3 million. This wanted to know an idea of once you do this, do you know on the front end how much the rebate will be? What's the process? Walk me through the process of trying to raise money for this and OCTFME's role in kind of undergirding some of the costs that lessens the burden.
Well, the idea of the rebate program, as you know, is so that we can continue to use DC vendors, is to keep the money that we spend in DC. And so we have to apply every year. It is a competitive process. It's not a guarantee, but we've always been able to show the tremendous impact. We might get 75. One year we got 50,000. One year we got 150,000. But there's a threshold that we have to spend, $250,000 or more. And as I mentioned, we spent 512 last year. I think, if we could get more, I'm knocking on the door trying to get more, but I understand that the agency has a lot of organizations that it supports. So we're grateful for any amount that we get. But through that process, we're able to spend the money. Then we have to do a DC audit, which I have to tell you, Chairman White, is painful. Because we have to, you know, we have to do one DC audit and then we do another annual audit. But that DC audit is the only way that we can verify that we've actually spent the money to get the rebate back. So we go through that process over an 8-week period. After the festival, we submit forms. It goes through a rigorous process on the agency side. And then once they approve that we've actually spent the money legitimately, and we've hired the amount of vendors that we said we're going to hire, then we get the rebate money.
Let me ask you this. Do you incur any costs trying to prepare or be ready for this DC audit?
Yes, yes, and yes. It costs us $10,000 to do that audit every year. And that's just for the auditor. So it also takes time from our accounting. Well, we outsource our accounting. So our accounting firm has to spend money working with the auditor. And then the staff time, if you could, you know, we put about 5% of our annual staff time because we all have to be involved in that process. We have, you know, we have a small team, mighty team, but a small team that's involved in that process.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I want to go to Miss Peterson.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm having a good day. I'm just trying to keep it that way, you know?
Yes, exactly.
Um, how large is your organization? How would you like quantify I guess the number of musicians you all have that work with you?
So we have 5 full-time salaried employees, and we have anywhere between 6 and 10 hourly employees that work for us, depending on the season. So we just provide the instruments. We don't actually have any musicians who do any of the performances. We
Okay.
supply the instruments for the musicians that OCT FME brings in and supports.
Got it. That makes more sense. I just wanted to know from your talking points, is there anything else that you feel like we need to be doing as a district to spotlight and highlight our local artists? I know you spoke to that as one of the things that we have been doing.
Yeah, I think all of the big events that get put on, like, you know, someone mentioned the 202 Creates Emancipation Day. That's this weekend. We are also providing all of the instruments for DC Emancipation Day on Sunday. And as far as I know, I think we're kind of up to almost 8, you know, musicians that are going to be participating in this weekend. Having more events kind of like that, or even that can almost be on a smaller scale so that it's a little bit more manageable. I know the budget was mentioned for next year. Whenever I'm on site at these events, just the energy that kind of comes back from the community that is being received from the crowd and the audience is just palpable. Even if it's small pop-up concerts, we've done those before as well, where it's just a small stage, maybe just a couple of artists at something like a festival. Or I remember there was a 4th of July event where I believe it was Black Alley played prior to a main airing of the PBS 4th of July event. And if that was something, I actually don't remember if that was something that was being broadcasted in the city of DC as well. You know, stuff like that kind of highlights the musicians on these larger platforms. I just think are really great.
Yeah, I actually saw Black Alley on the flyer for the Emancipation Day
Yeah.
some other cool entertainment. Let me ask you this. I know Miss Lisa Dean talked about CBE, but
Mhm.
is the Capital Percussion and Backline Rentals a CBE?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Where are you located?
We are located in DC, close to the Navy Yard.
Okay.
Mhm.
And outside the work you are doing, for some of the government-led productions, are you all doing anything else along like in the private sector with
Yes.
entertainment? Okay.
Yeah, so we do everything from large scale productions like Emancipation Day, which for sure is a large scale production, to local artists who just need to rent a guitar amp for a show they're putting on, at a venue like Songbird, which, is a DC um, music house. So yeah, it doesn't matter the scale, we will do it.
Yeah, I had the opportunity of taking one of my kids to the Levine School of Music,
Mhm.
and I was surprised that they actually rent out instruments at
Yeah.
a very affordable rate. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of places like that that will rent out music instruments to students specifically as well. It's a good way to be able to have access to instruments without needing to rent them and incur the large cost that it can take. We rent out a set of timpani. A set of timpani can cost $30,000 to
Wow.
purchase. That's obviously not an expense that, your average person, let alone family, can incur. So
What
that's
what's the average amount of time that you all keep equipment without have to go get new equipment, get it refurbished, repaired, or just I guess altogether brand new?
so it depends. We really make sure that we keep our equipment in as best and high quality condition as we can. And one of the things that we are able to do with relationships that we have with manufacturers is purchase equipment brand new directly from the manufacturers at a discounted rate because of our relationships that we have with them. So it's not very frequent that we need to buy equipment to replace something that is broken or too old. But as newer models and newer versions of things come out, we need to have the most updated model for those artists who then request to have that model at their performance.
Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate the information. Um, Miss Dean, thank you for joining. Um, and
Sure. Thank you for having me.
thank you. I know you're in Ward 8. Where are you located in Ward 8?
We're located on Martin Luther King Avenue, Congress Heights.
Yep. Fourth and MLK.
Yes.
Got it. Got it. How long has your organization been connected to the rebate program?
Well, we're actually just a vendor. We actually don't take part in the rebate program,
Okay.
but
Sorry.
we've had a relationship. I've been back here 2 years, and they've had the relationship prior to me coming.
Okay. Um, how long have you worked in this creative space in general?
I don't know if I'm technically creative or not. I'm closet creative. Um, but I've been in the CBE space and working with DC for 10 years.
Okay. I know in your opening statement you talked about DC supporting uh natives, CBEs. Um, how would you rate, not even outside this context, just the government's interaction supporting our local CBEs?
I believe the district has made great strides in your supporting CBEs and Native Washingtonians. Um, Programs like the resident-owned businesses, the different designations that they put in place. Actually, the Green Book, actually putting goals that each agency has, and making sure that they meet those. I think that's huge. And talking to other colleagues and people who are, CBEs, it is definitely a huge increase.
Yeah, one of the things I've been keen on, I guess in the last 2 years, was about the number of waivers.
Yes.
There are a lot of different gaps in how we can spend money versus the population, business, or CBEs available to produce that product or service. And so
And it's
there's
funny
been, go ahead.
sorry. It's funny you should say that because I've noticed, you get an email saying that a waiver has been submitted and they have gone down. I mean, it used to be you would get constant emails and now it's extremely rare that you get one of those.
Yeah. So we're trying to make sure we are getting information to residents, the local economy to fill some of those gaps to take advantage of those opportunities because there are a lot of businesses that have aspiration to do great things, but may not necessarily know how to connect with the government and our local e creative economy.
Now, I think you've done a great job, like I said, between the Green Book and then all the different activities, all the different workshops and different seminars that, I mean, you have a constant flow of information as to the different opportunities that are available.
Yep. Yep. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming on and giving value to the work that we're doing here for OCTFME. And I think that we have the ability to do a whole lot more. So we're going to get to our government witnesses. I want to thank you guys for joining us today.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
your time.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Likewise. The second half of this budget oversight hearing will be focused on our government witnesses. Again, for those who are just joining, this is our budget oversight hearing for the office of, let me make sure I get it right, cable television, film, music, and entertainment. I struggle with it because its name been changed over the course of a couple of years, but we are here now and services have expanded and we have some great leadership. We look forward to hearing from them very shortly if we can elevate our government witnesses to the panel. Hello, Director. Will anyone else be joining you today?
Yes, good afternoon, Chairperson White. I believe my team is joining as we speak.
Okay. Great. I hope all is well.
We're doing good. How you doing?
Fair for a square.
Look, I think you're doing great. You're gonna be out there partying with us, partying with a purpose this
Yeah.
weekend.
Yes, ma'am. I'm supposed to go to something tonight. Sycamore Oak Vibe. They having some live entertainment there tonight, but I also have a community meeting. I don't know how long that one gonna be. So you know how this work goes.
Work never stops, but guess what? All of this is bringing revenue into our city, and we're excited about it.
Amen, because we need some of that.
Amen. There's our illustrious, as you said, Oxme team.
Yeah. You like that? All right. I want to thank you guys for joining. As you all know, it is the practice of this office to swear in all government witnesses. You can start by cutting your screen on, your mute button, taking your mute button off, or your sound, and raising your right hand. All right. Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury the testimony you're about to give to the Committee on Recreation, Library, Youth Affairs is the truth and the whole truth?
Yes.
I
Yes.
do.
I do.
Okay, great. Okay, you got a large team here today, Director.
Look,
Yeah.
we come very prepared.
Yep, and before you go, I want to thank you guys for co-hosting the production at DC Jail. It was a phenomenal day. and just the amount of time and energy and the professionalism with the edits. We got a lot of great traction. Just highlighting some individuals for those who don't know who were previously incarcerated. And then they have a lot of influence in trying to create that message of restoration and forgiveness, because these two individuals had rivalry for years, decades, and they spent most of their life. One spent 29 years and 8 months in prison. One spent roughly 22 years in prison. And now they hang out every day from different neighborhoods, different crews, and trying to create that message of healing and forgiveness and restoration to other young brothers and sisters that are incarcerated. So you helped us to get that message. We've been trying to get it expounded on the tablets, because a lot of those who are incarcerated have tablets, so we can keep that going. We want to do a part 2, so just keep that in mind.
All right.
Shortly about part 2.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Councilmember, for allowing us to be a part of that. It was a very powerful conversation, a conversation that was very necessary. And, that's just one of the great things that this mighty OCTFME team is able to do, is to be able to disseminate information just like that. That's important. That's just one of the important factors of what we do here at OCTFME. So thank you for allowing us to be a part of that journey with you.
Thank you. I know you normally have a presentation.
Well, we don't have a video today, but we do have a testimony.
Okay, and then I want to thank DOC as well, also Edward Ford and Anton White, Tony Lewis, Jahar Abraham, Waleed, just those individuals that made that powerful impact and partnership with you guys to bring this home, man. It was remarkable. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Go right ahead if you have an opening statement, Director.
Okay. Well, again, good afternoon, Chairperson White, members of the Committee on Recreation, Libraries, and Youth Affairs, and committee staff. I'm LaToya Foster, the Director of the Office of Cable Television, Film, Music, and Entertainment. I appreciate the opportunity to testify to you today. The Mayor's fiscal year 2025 budget and financial plan, A Fair Shot, Strategic Investments, and Shared Sacrifice, which focuses on our city's comeback and growth, makes significant investments in education, health, human services, housing, jobs, economic opportunity, public safety, transportation, and more. These investments reflect the key priorities identified by DC residents at budget engagement forums held during the budget formulation process and broadcasted by OCTFME, including an online budget engagement forum for Gen Zers and millennials that broadcasted live right here from the OCTFME studios. I would like to thank Mayor Bowser for her continued support of OCTFME's mission and activities and her leadership and vision for the District of Columbia. The Mayor's fiscal year 25 operating budget for OCTFME is $14.9 million. This total includes an allocation of $7.6 million in local funding and $7.3 million in special purpose revenue funds. The budget provides 58 FTEs to OCTFME. 21 of these positions will be supported with local funding, and 37 will be supported by special purpose revenue funds. OCTFME will utilize the Mayor's fiscal year 25 budget resources to regulate cable providers and ensure that the highest level of customer service is administered to DC residents, continue to develop and expand our multimedia platforms and award-winning television programming focused on our youth, affordable housing, education, public safety, media literacy, business and workforce development, and the diverse culture, lifestyles, and talents of district residents. manage and promote the Film Rebate Fund to attract blockbuster movies and television productions, as well as sports, digital gaming, and immersive media, and diverse entertainment projects to our city, resulting in more jobs and opportunities for DC residents and businesses. Promote Washington, D.C. as a world-class city and premier destination for entertainment and tourism. Grow and support a sustainable creative economy through our Creative Affairs Office and our 202 Creates program that create curated events, driving revenue to all quadrants of the city, and foster job opportunities and marketing platforms to promote the creative talents and achievements of DC residents and develop strategies to garner new opportunities for growth and economic development, and administer the Creative Economy Career Access Program, CCAP, which provides training and employment opportunities for DC residents with our partners and stakeholders in media and theater, as well as internship programs that will prepare our youth for non-traditional careers in broadcast, media, digital gaming, animation, film, and music. As a division of OCT-FME, the Creative Affairs Office was established to improve diversity and equity within the creative community. CAO showcases and preserves DC's rich creative communities throughout all 8 wards. According to the latest data released by the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis and the National Endowment for the Arts, the District of Columbia arts industries contribute $13.8 billion in value to the district's economy, employing 56,778 arts workers who earned $9.5 billion. CAO uses its resources and relationships with key community partners, including our theaters, to support and develop various policies, initiatives, and events, including the 202 Creates Residency Program, which is our creative entrepreneurship program that provides unique opportunities for cohorts to participate in structured curriculum, as well as network and learn from experts on establishing their businesses. There's also our Care for Creatives program, which provides pay what you can mental health resources, and that's through our partnership with George Washington University Hospital. CAO also established our Business Over Brand program that provides education and support to our creative entrepreneurs. CAO further hosts a series of discussions throughout the year, including Women in Media and Entertainment, focusing on women in leadership in media, entertainment, and technology. And lastly, every September, we recognize and celebrate 202 Creates Month, which is devoted to elevating public awareness surrounding the value of the arts and the economic impact the arts contribute to our city. OCT-FME and CAO continue to administer the Go-Go People's Plan, which provides recommendations to support, preserve, and archive Go-Go music and its culture across all 8 wards. Since fiscal year 21, CAO has equitably distributed financial support of over $3 million to artists, initiatives, and programs designed to promote the district's go-go music, history, and culture. The Go-Go Fund has provided equitable resources, opportunities, and spaces within the community that aid in preservation and promotion of the music and the culture, reaching beyond the borders of our city and expanding platforms for the artists and advocates to be heard and amplified. These initiatives provide the creative community with dynamic programming, targeted resources, opportunities, and connections that drive revenue and help support a sustainable creative economy. Critically, CAO is building the interdisciplinary creative community required to execute successful activations and drive economic recovery and advancements. OCTFME's broadcast production support team continued required maintenance activities. The upgrade to our equipment for fiscal year 24 includes a state-of-the-art lighting board for the agency's main Studio A. Studio lighting and other equipment are crucial components that directly impact the quality of videography and programming, such as Youth Speak Out and Mayor Bowser's Gen Z Budget Engagement Forum that airs on our government PEG channels. These critical components also support our efforts in broadcasting mayoral press conferences and council hearings that contribute to the transparency and valuable information disseminated to our local, national, and international media outlets, as well as DC residents. In fiscal year 25, the mayor's submitted budget allocates $842,000 to support the DC Film Rebate Fund. OCTFME will continue to manage the fund and obtain a return on investment for the district. The DC Film, Television, and Entertainment Rebate Fund has provided creative economy jobs for district residents and has made a positive financial impact on the district's local economy. Since Mayor Bowser reactivated the DC Film Rebate Fund in fiscal year 2016, OCTFME has awarded $12.1 million to 71 projects, including 32 projects from local production companies. The overall direct, indirect, and induced economic impact to the district from the 71 projects has been $177.1 million, and the projects have created 1,798 district resident job hires and $6.9 million in total compensation to district residents. The fund not only supports and attracts major films and television productions to our city, such as Marvel and the Netflix film Rustin, but it also supports revenue-generating events, such as the DC Jazz Fest at the Wharf, the NCAA Atlantic 10 Conference Media Studio installation, and the 2023 Professional Fighters League Championship. OCTFME has also hosted and supported a number of movie screenings in fiscal year 23 and fiscal year 24 to date, showcasing the creative work of DC's hometown filmmaking talent. These screening activations have contributed to increased revenue and the cultural vibrancy of downtown DC. The Creative Economy Career Access Program is an innovative workforce development program that connects district residents from historically underrepresented communities with local creative economy training and mentorship from established creative economy employers. Now in its 8th year, the fiscal year 24 Creative Economy Career Access Program class will launch in the summer of 2024 and will provide paid on-the-job training for up to 7 DC residents. The 202 Creates Residency program has welcomed 250 DC residents from all 8 wards to date, serving a demographic that includes 70% people of color. The resources provided help to continue providing space for the district creatives to be connected and extended the opportunities that help the artists in the district live, grow, and create. Since its inception, 202 Creates Residency program has saved district residents an estimated $4 million by providing participants with free resources, access to district leaders, and space to work and create during co-working days. To date, the 202 Creates program has welcomed over 1,600 entrepreneurs to community building events and has hosted over 200 in-person activations. The annual 202 Creates Month that is hosted every September has reached over 20,000 patrons since 2018 and driven revenue for downtown businesses. Lastly, OCTFME plays a critical role in the resurgence of downtown. As Deputy Mayor Nina Alpert has so eloquently stated, downtown DC is the breadwinner of our city. And as we know, all roads across all 8 wards of our city lead to downtown, and a thriving downtown ensures that our city has the resources to support programs and opportunities for small, local, women and Black-owned businesses, minority-owned businesses across all 8 wards, with an emphasis, of course, on our creative family east of the river. As the entertainment economic engine of our government, we work with our partners at Events DC, Destination DC, DSLBD, and others to create a vibrant entertainment and tourism hub that continues to attract visitors from all over the world while supporting our homegrown creative community. OCTFME also works with the Downtown Gallery Place Task Force to identify temporary and permanent activations to increase visitation and generate more foot traffic downtown. We also partner with our sister agency, DSLBD, as well as the Restaurant Association of Metropolitan Washington and our downtown Golden Triangle and Anacostia Business Improvement Districts to contribute to the annual Art All Night festivities. Additionally, OCTFME has partnered with Events DC to support events and festivals that increase tourism in our city, some that launched right here by local business owners in our backyards that have now evolved into national prominence. In closing, the resources allocated to OCTFME will continue to play a vital role in the city's comeback, robustness, and vibrancy, provide district residents jobs and opportunities to reach and remain on the pathway to the middle class, and provide our youth with an opportunity to learn about non-traditional careers and businesses in entertainment, sports, technology, and the arts. I'd like to thank again Mayor Bowser for her leadership and unwavering support for our agency. I would also like to thank you, Chairperson White, and this committee for being critical allies in OCTFME's mission. This concludes my testimony. My staff and I look forward to answering any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. The OCTFME's budget dropped 2.3%. Can you tell us if this is going to have an effect or not on the overall productivity of the agency?
Well, we understand about the budget priorities and where we are in this fiscal year and perhaps for a couple of fiscal years to come. But what we know is that we're going to continue to provide the necessary support in an equitable fashion. So it should not have any negative impact on our day-to-day operations.
Thank you. Can you speak to the continued productivity of the Creative Affairs Office, especially like 202 Creates Residency Program and the Go-Go People's Plan?
Absolutely. We are very excited about all of the greatness that comes out of the Creative Affairs Office, specifically 202 Creates, and of course, the Go-Go People's Plan. We've been able to launch so many extraordinary programs, Councilmember White, through our Creative Affairs Office. We have discussions and talks where we're connecting our DC residents, those who are in the creative economy, the creative community, and those who aspire to be in the creative community. We're connecting them with people such as, just recently, we hosted a Women in Media and Entertainment event downtown at the Eaton Hotel, which included reporters from Fox 5, NBC4, Tammy Haddad, the former vice president of MSNBC, who now oversees the Washington AI Association, and a number of others from Radio, Urban One, WPGC, and so many others, to ensure that we are connecting all of those who may not have a voice, who may not be able to touch these people. We're bringing them right to our DC residents. We're having discussions. We're having events. We have our 202 Creates Residency Program, where we connect district leaders with those who have entrepreneurship programs and are aspiring entrepreneurs, so that they can learn about filing their taxes, how they get their business licenses, and so forth. And then, of course, the Go-Go People's Plan, which we are extraordinarily proud of, that we are able to support go-go across all 8 wards of our city, but also making sure that go-go is amplified on every continent on the globe. We have been able to support the popular, well-known artists in go-go, but we've also been able to give a hand up to those who may just be getting started in the world of go-go music and culture. So we are extraordinarily proud of what we've been able to do. We have big ideas for things that we're going to be doing in the very near future, and we are just extraordinarily proud. I can't say enough about the whole program.
Let me ask you this, because under your Creative Affairs office, it doesn't break down which part is 202 Creates, Residency Program, and the other programs. What was the budget for 202 Creates Residency Program, and what is it now proposed in this budget cycle? Also, what is the Go-Go's People's previous budget also versus what is proposed in this
So
budget?
for the Go-Go People's Plan, it has been $1 million. For our Creative Affairs program, I believe that is $352,000. Deetra Dickens, I will ask just to be on the safe side. Deetra?
Thank you, Director, and thank you, Chairman. Yes, you are completely correct. Approximately $352,000.
And the second part, what is supposed to be in this budget, because it's not broken down.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, Councilmember White? I could not hear you.
I heard you say it 1,352,000.
Yes, 1 million in Go-Go, 352 in Creative Affairs.
Yeah, what is proposed to be in this upcoming budget?
Both remain the same.
Walk us through this special purpose revenue fund and how that works and who monitors it.
So the Special Purpose Revenue Fund, Chairman White, comes from our cable franchise fees. To put it in context, your Verizons, your Comcast, your Astound RCNs, as well as fees that might come from our film permits and other production support. Those funds come in. They have, unfortunately, due to cord cutting, which we know a lot of people no longer subscribe to cable, but now subscribing to streaming services, we have seen a decline in that revenue. But that is where those funds do come from.
What's your mission and vision to try to get more of this in DC? I know there's been extensive discussion about trying to permit more filming in DC. Create more opportunities where artists can get involved. So tell me a little bit about how this particular part of your budget you're looking to enhance and generate more revenue.
Well, you know, here's the great thing, Chairman White, about our city. People want to be in our city. They want to film in our city. They know about the unique talent of our city. They recognize that there is no place like Washington, D.C. So though our budget may not be similar to others in the region or nationally, they do understand that there is only one Washington, D.C., which is why even our former president and First Lady Obama brought their Netflix production right here to Washington, D.C., Ruston. We know that we've had Marvel here, not once, but several times. We know that Apple TV is knocking at our door, looking to bring a production here right as we speak. And Netflix is coming to us time and time again. And so we know that we have a great reputation. We are Washington, D.C., with a beautiful backdrop, historic landmarks, and every reason for more films to come to Washington, D.C. And we have an extraordinary film division that is led by Associate Director Herbert Niles and his team, who have established relationships. We've been able to attract more. We're seeing more. And it's nothing like, I don't know if you've seen it, Chairman White, where you're looking at one of our films and you see our logo come up at the end. There is absolutely nothing like it. And we've also supported a number of local production companies, some who've been able to team up with national producers such as Octet Productions, Chuck and Bree West, who've been able to team up with award-winning Tracy Edmonds, who we know from Soul Food, from Jumpin' the Broom, and so many others. Tracy Edmonds herself spent an entire month here in Washington, D.C., filming a film entitled Wake. She did her casting right here from OCTFME Studios. So we know about Washington, D.C. And let me tell you, the word has gotten out, the word has gotten around. People are talking more about why they should be bringing their productions to Washington, D.C. And we're excited about it. And we're just saying, come one, come all.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
As a matter of fact, Chairman, now that I think about it, you were down on the set of Marvel. You saw it for yourself.
I did. I had a great time. I've never been to a filming in that magnitude up close, and I didn't realize how many takes they got to do for one scene. I'm like,
That's right.
okay, I didn't see nothing wrong with the last take, but
You get a true appreciation when you're there on site for sure.
but I also learned how the film industry has to contract with local staff and companies for security, for different needs that they have.
Yes.
And I think that that's very much so appreciated, and also can boost our economy and also generate revenue and put money in people's pockets who normally have to travel to get involved into the filming industry. So I'm at that part about it as well.
You know, it's funny that you say that, Chairman White, because right now, as you're stating that, I'm thinking about DC's own Tressa Smallwood. Tressa Smallwood produced the Tanisa Welch story right here in Washington, D.C. I can recall going down on the set right in Deanwood, Ward 7, where you found the production taking place, where you saw local vendors on site, even down to the caterers. DC businesses, DC actors and actresses, DC folks behind the music production of it. And it all took place right here in our city. And that was one of the things Tressa said. She said, there's nothing like being able to film a production in my hometown and being able to go home and sleep in my own bed. So she's given jobs and opportunities to DC residents and also able to work in her city and go home.
Thank you for that. I see the local funds for the Special Purpose Revenue Fund. There was a shift of 12 FTEs selected a shift along with these funds. Can you walk us through what happened with that?
Well, what's taken place, Councilmember White, as I was stating earlier, because of the cable franchise fees, there has been a significant decline since 2016. That is as a result of what we like to call cord cutting. I think most people are familiar with the fact that you may not have or subscribe to cable as we once knew it, but people are, of course, making sure that they have internet, and they're subscribing to various streaming services. So as a result, the cable franchise fees do decline. And those fees, that revenue supported jobs here in this office. So as a result, local funding was brought in to support those jobs, since there is declining revenue in SPR.
Thank you for that. What positions, if any, were gained in the performance and strategic management? And second follow-up to that is, what position was lost in executive administration? It looks like it was the decrease.
Currently, right now, we're at 58 positions. None have been lost.
Any gain?
No, no change.
Okay. I did notice that the overtime pay budget went from $200,000 to zero. How would this affect your productivity and the ability to keep up with all these great ideas and remarkable work?
Well, in the previous fiscal years, Councilmember White, yes, you are correct. We have had $200,000 in our overtime budget that supports any number of district-wide events that are taking place and a number of productions that are taking place. I will turn to our AFO, Cassandra Fields, to discuss in greater detail about fiscal year 25's overtime budget. Cassandra?
Yes, good afternoon, Councilmember White. Yes, with the overtime budget, there was a reduction because of the reduction in special purpose revenue funds that supported the overtime. However, it was also in oversight, so the agency is working to address that with the remainder of this budget cycle.
Got it. You talk about reductions. I see there was a decrease of 313,000 affecting TV programming. How would this decrease affect like strong content inability to keep up the productions.
I'm sorry, Chairman, I could not hear you.
Sorry, yeah, just noticing that there was a $313,000 decrease affecting TV programming. I was asking how would this decrease enable you guys to keep up with the same content and quality programming?
Well, the great thing is, Chairman White, is that we have very experienced personnel in our production and programming divisions who understand what's needed to get the day-to-day operations that are necessary in our broadcast productions, for the mayor's press conferences, as well as for our council hearings. So we are able to maintain with the resources that we have to ensure that we have quality programming on all of our networks, DCN, DCC, DKN, and let's not forget DCE, our own streaming network.
Thank you. We did see that the film rebate program increased the additional 212,000. What's your thoughts behind this, and how would this enable you to do more and reach more organizations and businesses in the community?
Absolutely. I am going to turn to our Associate Director, Herbert Niles, to speak in greater detail about that. Herbie?
Good afternoon, Chairman. I'll speak to the programmatic approach and our strategy for the program. I'll defer to our Director of Operations, referring to why and how the additional funds were assigned to the budget. But with regard to the programming, as you said, and as the director said, we've been very active, we've been very aggressive, we've been building relationships. We've had productions all over the city. And any additional funds that we have for the program, we're going to leverage them to bring more jobs, more economic impact, and more visibility to the District of Columbia.
Got it. I think that answers the question of is there additional answer to that. I'll pause. If not, I'll keep going.
No, sir, no additional comments.
All right. Do you have any goals as to how many projects you would like to fund during this rebate program this fiscal year due to the high demand and the $200,000 increase?
Well, Chairman White, I would say that we're going to always go out there and champion our city. We're going to tell every production company who wants a chance here in Washington, D.C. to come on, come one, come all. We do have goals to always ensure that we are bringing a number of big blockbuster productions to the city, but we also know that we want to support our local filmmakers as well, those who have a camera and a dream, and we're doing that. But we're going to continue with our goals. Again, we're Washington, D.C. People want to be here in our city, and we are going to make sure that they have all the resources that they need to ensure that their productions are seamless.
Thank you. I did notice that I saw Chris from TLB at a school today.
Uh-huh.
And they had local artists performing with them, the students performing with them at the school, which just, boosts the morale at the school. It incentivizes students to be on their best behavior, to achieve these academic goals. And back when I grew up, we had May Day. I don't know if you remember that. We had May Day. We used to have to wear the red and white with the side-by-side police department band come and play.
Now, I do remember the side-by-side band. I remember side-by-side coming to my school, too, when I was at Kimball, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
There we go.
It probably was May Day. But I have a heartbeat for our young people and trying to get them involved into other areas of careers, and especially behind the scenes, this day and time, everybody want the mic or want to act, but there's so many other jobs and careers. In fact, I just met with Monumental Sports, and they're partnering with Johnson Middle School and Belusi High School's production classes to get youth down to see the production, learn about the careers, and hopefully I'm pushing to get some interns. Haven't confirmed that yet, but we got some heavy negotiations going on. How are you as an agency engaging and bringing in youth and young adults into your vision?
Well, we have a number of ways, Councilmember White, and your passion is the mayor's passion, and it's our passion as well. We want to make sure that we are equipping our youth for the future of what's taking place in entertainment and media and broadcasting. I go back to the event that we just held, Women in Media, just a couple of weeks ago, Women in Media and Entertainment, where we had DC students there to learn, to meet with these women who have paved the way, who have had some extraordinary journeys from, their dreams and goals to where they are today. We've also hosted our youth here in our studios. Interns during the summer, some delegations who have come in. They've come into our studios and learned what goes on behind the scenes. Of course, you are aware, because we've talked about this many times, our very own Teen Summit. We call it Youth Speak Out. It was hosted by our youth mayor, and we got a chance for them to see what goes on in a production, as well as talk about their issues and concerns. We sponsor Duke Ellington's Go-Go curriculum there, and any number of different ways that we are working with our youth. Dean Wood Broadcasting, hats off to Bootsy Vegas. But we're all involved. We're all entrenched in making sure that our youth are getting opportunities to learn, to sit in on those film productions as well that are taking place here in our city, so they know that everything doesn't go on in front of the camera, but there are extraordinary careers where they can make thousands of dollars behind the scenes. I always like to tell a story that I learned, and I was blown away, that someone who's working in fashion on the set could make up to $8,000 a week. $8,000 per week, Councilmember White. Can you imagine? But those are the non-traditional careers and jobs and opportunities that are taking place in this industry. And that is why also we are talking more about artificial intelligence and what that's going to mean in the evolution of media and entertainment. And we got a chance to bring our youth face to face with someone who's leading that charge right here in our city. So your passion, for real, is Mayor Bowser's passion and our passion as well.
Great. And I just realized the band was at Duke Ellington. That's the school they were today. So
and hold on, we can't forget Nucci, Councilmember White. We cannot forget Nucci and all that he's doing as well.
What are you doing with the porch? What is he doing?
With Front Porch, but also what he's doing with Duke Ellington and with the students there, and we're supporting him as well. We are all involved, all in when it comes to the youth here in our city.
Got it. I did want to know what led the office to decide on a $251,000 reduction, specifically in consumer services within the programming regulations budget. Also, there was a $24,000 reduction in consumer and customer service within the agency's program budget.
Yeah. With that, I will turn that to Deetra Dickens and Lawrence Cooper on our team.
Thank you, Director, and thank you, Chairman White. If you're speaking specifically to the reduction in numbers, if it's a budget question, if it's okay with you, Director Foster, I think that question will be more appropriate for our AFO, Cassandra Fields.
Absolutely. So the reduction in $251,000 in the consumer services, that it wasn't really a reduction, it was a realignment. So that 251 went to the film rebate program department, and also the reduction of $24,000 that represents a decrease in the fringe benefit rate from FY24 to 25.
Got it. Thank you for that explanation.
Yes, sir.
Just want to make sure that the agency maintains its engagement with consumers despite this reduction in funding. If you can someone can speak to that, because that's a big hit.
Well, one thing about it, Chairman White, no matter what we have to work with, one thing you can rest assured, we're going to get it done. This agency has nearly 60 bodies here who are so talented and so experienced. So you don't ever have to worry about, if something's not going to get done because of a budget or so forth. We are experienced here. We have a passion for what we do. We look forward to doing what we do every day. So that never has to be a concern for sure.
Got it. As all of us know, there has historically been, well, just in the last 3 years, we had some of the highest crime rates we had in the last 20 years. And I think that we all have a responsibility to do what we can in government and non-government, to grandma, to the post office man, to the school teacher, to play a role in helping our residents see a brighter future and have hope. I just wanted to know, are you doing anything around public safety? And the reason why I ask because right now, a lot of our youth base a lot of their things on intake and social media and
Mhm.
imagery. And when we sometimes don't put positive imagery in front of our youth and young adults or whoever, they intake a lot of negative things and start to become some of those things that they are not. And I always say a lie not corrected in time becomes truth in your mind.
That's right.
I say that because I coach Little League football. And I know over time, like I have kids that's not aggressive, real laid back, scared to tackle. And now he is involved in something crazy. I'm like, when he start getting like that? But it's only a matter of time if we don't deal with the positive affirmations,
Yep.
the sense of self-worth, self-esteem, that the sheep can become a wolf. And
Absolutely.
so I just want to know
Absolutely,
your
Chairman
thoughts
White.
on that from being the agency that's in charge of TV production, imagery, partnerships about how we providing positive outlets and imagery for our young people, even for people in general around public safety.
Absolutely, Chairman White, and thank you for that question, because we recognize that the concern around public safety is paramount. So we make it a priority, quite frankly, to ensure that we are broadcasting programming that addresses public safety on our DCN channels, DKN, DCE, and even on our social media platforms and our partnership with Howard University, as you said, you like to say, WHUR, HD4 96.3. We're making sure that we are creating programming that speaks to the heart of all of these issues. Youth Speak Out was birthed out of a passion. You and I talked about it several times. We knew what Teen Summit on BET meant to us when we were coming up. Well, that program was shot right here in this building where I sit. This is the original Black Entertainment Television headquarters, where we are headquartered. And when we sat and produced Youth Speak Out, it was an opportunity to hear our youth speak about their concerns, their fears, and it came from them. It's not us talking to them, telling them what they should be doing or need to be doing. It was an opportunity for us to hear from them what's really going on in our communities, in the streets, what their concerns are, what they feel when they go to school, when they learn that something has happened to one of their friends or one of their classmates. We've also connected them with different therapists as well on those programs. So we had a chance to hear straight from our youth, straight from our babies, what's taking place in our communities. We have also produced programming, Chairman White, as you know, and spoke to at the Department of Corrections, which was so powerful and so necessary. And then we've also engaged with a number of our returning citizens on programming. There's something about a story about someone who may have been looking at 2 life sentences, but they got a second chance at it and have turned their lives around, doing great things in the city, being great partners with us, with Mayor Bowser, with this office, with the council chairman, and making sure that they are giving back that they're doing all the right things, that they have created careers and saying, you know what, I don't ever have to look back at that life again because they found a new pathway beyond the middle class. They understand what needs to be done. They're looking at new resources and they are giving back and pouring into our youth. And we have been able to produce and tell those stories right here at OCTFME. And so that is our way of making sure that we are producing and broadcasting programming that is powerful, that's thought-provoking, that's compelling, that people can really, it hits their souls. So they understand also the investments Mayor Bowser makes every single day, what she's doing. Councilmember White, what you're doing out there. These stories have to be told, and we're committed to doing that every single day. And then we also have shows like Little Bruce Gamer that speaks to young people in gaming. Now, I never was good at Atari and Coleco and all those good, I don't know how to play it. But that's where our young people are, and they're big careers in gaming as well. So it's so important for us to continue to have those type of images, as you say, but also telling those stories that may not get the necessary attention that it needs on other platforms, but we get to tell it in long form where it hits people to their souls.
Thank you for that. Still on the line of public safety, I guess in the last 72 hours, we've seen 3 massive shooters in the district. We had one on MLK Southwest, with 2 actually on MLK, one Southeast Southwest.
Yeah.
And yesterday on Maryland Avenue in Northeast. And 2 kids, a 9-year-old and a 10-year-old wounded as a result of these shootings. And I know you all participate in a lot of these production events coming up this summer.
Yes.
What's your communications with other government agencies to ensure that when people come out to have a good time, that they can, there's proper precautions. Now, you can't predict everything or prevent everything, but the proper precautions in these upcoming events, like, like we talked about the Jazz Festival earlier today, to make sure people are safe in the district.
Well, I'll tell you this, Chairman White. Like this weekend we have coming up, the Emancipation Day weekend festivities. We know we've got a parade taking place at 2:00 p.m. on Sunday. We know that at 3 p.m. we're going to kick off a concert that is multi-generational, and it is family fun. That's what it's all about. We put the proper security measures in place to ensure that our residents and tourists, quite frankly, are safe and can feel safe. We know that we've brought thousands out to various events and it's gone without a hiccup. And we plan on doing the same. We will always ensure that we keep the safety of our residents first and foremost, but we're also making sure that we are bringing the type of programming to these events that are family fun. Everything, I like to say, from gospel to go-go, it's family fun. It's good fun. It's good feel good. We're going to have praise at that plaza. We're going to go. We're going to have moon bounces. That's not the environment to set it off. That's where we come together and we have family fun and we unite, quite frankly. We remember those events from back in the day, Councilmember White. I'm going to take you all the way back. Ward 8, Unifest, Riverfest. Yeah. Well, that's what emancipation is. And that's what all of these different events that we support, that's what they're doing. We are all committed to making sure that we are keeping our residents and tourists and multi-generational entertainment taking place throughout all 8 wards of our city. And we're doing it in a very safe manner. It's family fun. We coming out there to play life-size chess and checkers.
Yes.
Moon bounces. Let's have some good, clean fun.
Yeah. One of my concerns in this budget is to ensure that already struggling and marginalized communities aren't getting the tail end of the stick, right? I just left some seniors in Fort Stanton, and they are concerned about a number of things and the budget cuts and housing. And while all this may not be your issue, just want to hear your vision to ensure equity and inclusion despite the budget being cut over 2% this year to keep
Yeah.
everybody engaged and active across the city in all 8 wards?
You know, one thing about it, Chairman White, Mayor Bowser has always been committed from the time she assumed office in 2015 in making sure that residents across all 8 wards, but you've heard her on many occasions say she wants to be the mayor who does the most for Ward 8. She wants to be the one that does the most for east of the river. And that is why everything we do here at OCTFME, we keep equity first. We understand that everybody doesn't have the resources and the revenue to do things on the largest scales. But what we also do know is that those who have a dream and a vision and a plan, we want to be with them from day one, from ground zero, and help support them and give them the hand up that they need to see that they can grow their businesses, that they can grow their opportunities, that they're able to give back when they get there. A great example of that would be the gentleman behind Broccoli City, quite frankly. If you look at them and what they started, we can remember when they started Broccoli City and they were right on St. Elizabeth's campus. And now today, they've grown into a huge festival that's going to be at Audi Field with a partner in Live Nation. And we know there are others out there just like that. So you say, what are we going to be able to do? No matter what budget we have, we're always going to keep equity first, the people first, and making sure that we're supporting everyone in an equitable fashion. Everybody gets a hand up. Everyone really does get a fair shot. And we have a number of examples that prove that.
Thank you. I appreciate that answer, and I appreciate your tenacity around equity and inclusion. I have a few more before we close up. I wanted to know, like, we're in an information media age.
Mhm.
You know, we got young people in high school and college doing NIL deals and generating revenue all types of ways through streaming online platforms. How is the agency at all taking advantage of sponsorships? We have a thriving business community. We're connected to large companies in this region. Tell me your vision and what's your thoughts around the connectivity to sponsorships through production here in the district?
Where we're always looking, talking to our business community, and sponsorships go any number of ways. You know, let's talk about social media, for example. You know, there are a lot of businesses around the city that have a powerful platform that we are able to utilize, and vice versa. So sponsorship is not always dollars, but it's marketing opportunities, it's promotion. There's any number of ways that we can look at partnerships and sponsorships, and we explore all of those, but we make sure that we stay very close with our business community, that we're talking to them, and we're always looking at ways that we can partner.
So do you have a person in your shop that does this? How does the agency kind of focus on that?
We have quite a number of people because there are different areas that our agency focuses on. We have different points of contact who are making those connections in the business community, if you will.
Okay, that's good to hear because I see things are happening. I just want to make sure we're in the pipeline to get our just due with our, as we call it, the creative economy.
That's right. And I'll give you an example. If you look right here on this panel right here, you have our General Counsel, Lawrence Cooper, who's in lockstep with our cable companies. You have Herbert Niles, who's in lockstep with those who are in television and film. Myself, I'm out there talking. Angela Franco from the Chamber of Commerce comes in here to do radio programs. So we are all in lockstep with our business community for sure.
I appreciate that. Well, you already answered part of that, so I won't go into that. I appreciate your candidness about our young people and see even some of the creativity around including them in production, even, you know, some of the filming, some of the thoughts. And I just know that we have to connect with them where they are.
Absolutely.
I say this because I held 2 youth hearings.
Mhm.
that drew youth and young adults from all across the city. Then I went to another thing, Black Swan Academy, and a number of other youth-led organizations had a meeting that I went to on 14th Street, and just to hear them, and they're so intelligent,
Yeah.
so remarkable, so much energy. But the one thing that was in common was that they were afraid to move throughout the city. Afraid to go ahead to this program, afraid to go ahead to this program because of what may happen. And so I think that we have to start using our platforms to educate, inform, and enlighten our residents about what's happening, what's not happening, what's happening where. And so I appreciate the vast variety of options that has been available, not just to our young people, but to our seniors. I remember watching one of the productions, and I saw our seniors having it like they was dancing, partying, having a good time.
That's right. That's right.
And they watch our television stations. They're
That's
home
right.
more than most. With some of them have more free time than some, and they spend time watching it. So it's good for them to see themselves appreciated and valued through our local television networks and our local stations and partners. So I want to say I appreciate you with that as well.
Thank you so much for that, Chairman White. You know, we understand that we have seniors at home who may not be able to always get out to our events. And that's why we make sure we give them a front row seat here when they're tuning into DCN and DKN and DCE and DCC, quite frankly. You know, again, they can't always get out, and even for those who do, you know, it's nothing like seeing yourself on camera. I'm telling you, it's the most amazing thing. You know, when you see yourself, you're like, oh, okay. So we always want to make sure that we give our seniors a front row seat to what's taking place in and around our city. And we also want to make sure that our youth know what opportunities are out there for them. Again, broadcast media entertainment is just a whole new world. And it's something that our youth are very much focused on, want to be a part of, want to learn more about. And that's why we do have all of these different divisions, and we're touching them so that they can learn and can see. I can speak for myself. You know, I was given a microphone when I was 14 years old at a radio station. It changed my life. And I continued on that path. Once I learned that there was an opportunity like that I could take advantage of, I got bit by that bug. I wanted to learn more. I wanted to be a part of broadcast media and entertainment. It changed my life. And I know that there are some others out there who are looking at it from the same lens I look at it from. And we want to be there for them, Chairman White. So I'm with you. I'm with you. Mayor Bowser is at 200% behind making sure that our youth have the resources that they need to learn about this whole new world of media and entertainment. And I'm going to throw it back in there again, technology and artificial intelligence, because it is the future of what broadcast media and entertainment is.
Absolutely. And I think about, you mentioned one of the pioneers that does youth programming throughout the year is our very own DPR's Boosie Vegas and
Yes.
also Chris. And I know when I came up, as far as seeing themselves on TV, we used to have DC 28, where people were able to, all the basketball, football games were filmed and reproduced and broadcast back to the community. Do we still do that at all? I know that DC State Athletic Association has a contract to film these events. And
we do. If you look on channel 99, Chairman White, DKN, you'll find DKN Sports, and it shows our youth and our sports programming. So yes, that still continues. We want to make sure that our youth sees themselves and see their friends, see their peers doing what they're excelling at and doing what they do best.
Okay, great. I appreciate that. Well, I want to thank you, your director, and your team. We have a lot of information you answered already through our questionnaire we were sharing with the other committee members on this committee. As a final note to this hearing, if anyone cannot testify today but would like to submit a written testimony included in the official record, you can go to DC Council's hearing page and access the online hearing. And there is dccouncil.gov, and you will hit the submit testimony button at the top right-hand corner, which you can submit directly to the Committee on Recreation, Libraries, and Youth Affairs. The record will close Thursday, April the 25th, 2024 at 6:00 p.m. Well, thank you, Director.
Chairman White, thank you so much. And again, I want to thank our incredible, mighty team here at OCTFME. As you can imagine, we've been preparing for our emancipation festivities as well as our budget hearing today. So we have been booked and busy over here, and I cannot say thank you enough to all of them. They are so amazing and they deserve all their flowers. So I just want to say thank you to them. And of course, always thank you to Mayor Bowser for her continued support of all of us. Thank you, Chairman White.
Thank you. With no other business before this committee, the time is now 4:38 p.m. The committee will reconvene on Wednesday, April the 24th at 9:00 a.m. for our budget oversight hearing for DC Public Libraries. And with hearing that there are no other witnesses before us today, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you.